Now, we will move on to keynote speech 1. The first keynote speaker is Professor Manabu Sato. Sorry, P. Sorry, P. I know. That was opening remark. So, the first keynote speaker is Professor Manabu Sato from Gakushuin University, Japan. And I think we all know who he is. He is one of the most famous education researcher in the world, but I will briefly explain him. And Professor Manabu Sato is Professor Emeritus of University of Tokyo and a visiting professor of Beijing Normal University. He was a past director of the Humanity and Social Sciences divisions of Japan Council of Sciences. He served as a Dean of Graduate School of Education of the University of Tokyo from 2004 to 6. He was also visiting scholar to the numerous universities, Harvard University, New York University, and visiting professor of El Colegio de Mexico, Berlin Free University, and the past president of Japanese Educational Research Association. He has published more than 20 books and about 100 editorial books and nearly 200 academic papers. Many of his books have been translated into many languages. And Professor Sato also won multiple contributions, has been recognized into the world. For instance, he was selected as a member of National Academy of Education in the United States in 2001, and he was appointed as the inaugural fellow of American Educational Research Association in 2009. In addition, he was a runner-up winner of Asian Publishing Award in 2012 and got Mingyang Educational Award in China in 2019. So please welcome Professor Manabu Sato.
Yes. Thank you. I will continue at the more 30 minutes of the keynote one. So the title of my keynote is Further Inquiry and More Collaboration, Reimagining Learning Innovation in School and Learning Community. These are the agenda of this speech, Crisis of Japanese Society and Education, a case story of SLC reform. What is collaborative inquiry? Reinnovating inquiry and collaboration, transforming classroom culture from competitive to collaborative. In pursuit of authentic learning, what means? What is a jumping task and why? Learning from a kid. Construction of collegiality by lesson study and conclusion. At first, I would like to introduce a brief explanation of current Japanese society and education. The damage to Japanese society and education caused by the pandemic was significant. Japan's GDP growth rate was 190th in the world in 2019. The worst position, terrible situation. Just before the pandemic due to the 30 years long economic crisis. But it's still 165th in the world and has not recovered. The dollar was 106 yen 10 years ago, and now 150 yen, as you know. Stock prices have reached an all-time high. Today's stock price is the highest in Japanese history. But over 80% of Japanese stocks are owned by foreign investors. Not Japanese, okay? This economic, industrial, and social decline is a result of 30 years of no innovation of politics, economy, industry, and education. Intoxicated by the former world's best economy. This economic decline has led to a wide gap between rich and poor and education. Poor and education is suffering. Japanese public education expenditure as a percent of GDP rank 134th in the world, while teachers' educational backgrounds have fallen to the lowest in the world. For example, the percentage of teachers with a master's degree is just 5% in elementary schools and 7% in junior secondary schools. And even in high schools are below the 20%. Okay. Combined with huge amounts of unpaid overwork, the number of applications for teaching profession has declined. The biggest victim of the pandemic is children. SLC is a hope for them and teachers. The biggest victim of the pandemic were children. 1 in 7 children in Japan now are poor. School closure was a short period of 3 months, but for the next 3 years, classrooms were reverted to 19th century style, the traditional teaching style in many areas, and collaborative learning was restricted. Learning innovation has been interrupted. Children and teachers have been isolated. The number of school refusals has nearly tripled from pre-pandemic levels. And teachers have taken leaves of absence or left the profession due to mental illness. Suicide in the leading cause of death among teenage in Japan. The mental well-being of Japanese children ranks 33 out of 37 countries. Even in these worst conditions, SLC reforms have more and more expanded nationwide. Currently, 300 private schools hold more than 1,000 open workshops per year, and reforms are promoted by SLC networks of about 3,000 schools. I will show you a typical case of it. This is a typical case of the school SLC reform under the pandemic. In the last year, I have visited more than 50 schools in Japan and about 50 schools in 7 foreign countries to promote the SLC approach. Most of the domestic in Japanese schools were hard schools in each area. The most difficult school among them was Kawaguchi Kita Junior High School. For more than 50 years, Kawaguchi Kita Junior High School had nearly Kawaguchi Junior Kita School have about 600 students, okay? A bit larger school than the ordinary junior secondary school in Japan. Kawaguchi Junior High School had nearly 100 violent incidents per year. Terrible situation. Violence against teachers, among students, and sometimes the teachers' violence against students. More than 100 of its 600 students were school refusal. More than 100 complaints from parents per year. 1/3 of the students did not attend class and wandering around, not in the classroom, wandering around the school. Of course, its academic performance was the lowest level among 430 schools in Saitama Prefecture. In this situation, teachers were very, very exhausted after work. And busy with visiting police, visiting juvenile prison, visiting a local child guidance center, and visiting home visit. Okay, every day, up to 10 o'clock. The very, very terrible situation for teachers. And 2 years ago, this school started the SLC reform under distinguished leadership of Principal Takafumi Okayasu with my supervision. This reform led to miraculous success. What I did and what has changed. This is my strategy to introduce us SLC approach. The beginning is critically important for SLC reform because SLC is not improvement, but revolution. Okay? The starting point is very, very important. What I did at starting in the school in Kawaguchi City. Similar approach in other schools. The first, purchase and distribute a small booklet entitled Reforming Schools for all teachers at the school. Because it enables the teachers to share common vision and common theory and common activity system. Okay. And second, transform the learning environment from the 19th century style classroom to a 21st century classroom, constructing learning relationship and conduct the first group study within 5 minutes of the start of every lesson. Okay. Third, design all classes with sharing task and jumping task. Fourth, all teachers open their classes at least once in a year for lesson study to build collegiality. Okay, miraculous success. I learned many times from teachers and kids. Learning is central to children's human rights and even a core of their hope. This is very important mission. Okay, and the result of the reform was immediate. 2 months after the reform began, June 2022, all students were engaged in class. All students, wow, amazing. Just 2 months later. But no smile, no laughing. Very, very serious face, okay? And when we visited a year after, every student was enthusiastically engaged in high levels of learning. The bright face of them were impressed. They are all smiling and enjoyed. They expressed their pleasure of learning. Okay, and the results of the 2 years reform as follows. Amazing. Number of school violence crises from more than 100 cases per year to zero. Zero. No violence for 2 years. Parental complaints to schools from more than 100 per year to zero. No parent complain. All the parents collaborate with and assist this reform. And number of students not attending school from more than 100 to now 30. And academic level from the lowest position of 430 schools in the prefecture to above the average of all the subjects. Okay. This miraculous success has led to the initiation of SLC reforms in the 9 schools in the Kamine district, where the school is located, and nearly 10 other schools in the city have also formed a network of SLC very strong network in the city. And this case is amazing. They are amazing. But it is not an exception in SLC reform. The case is usual in SLC. What is the secret base behind this? What is collaborative inquiry? The relationship of the thinking, inquiry, and collaboration. Inquiry cannot occur without collaboration, while thinking is capable to do it by oneself, because thinking is a dialogue of oneself with oneself, but inquiry is integration of multiple dialogues of different sorts. On the other side, collaboration without inquiry is meaningless at classrooms. Teacher collegiality by inquiry and collaboration. Teacher's knowledge is basically case knowledge, which is personal, contextualized, as small stories, and sometimes touched or implicit knowledge. Lesson study case method provides a strategy for helping teachers to chunk their experience, practical knowledge, and wisdom into units that can become a focus for reflective practice. Okay. Innovation and collaboration. Once Joseph Schwab was former professor at Chicago University in 1960s and 1970s. Schwab pointed out that education has been separated to two modes: teaching rhetoric of inquiry for democratic citizens, and teaching rhetoric of conclusion or right answer for slaves since ancient Greeks. This is true, I think. Or on the other side, Schwab proposed inquiry learning based on his elaborated conception of two structures of academic discipline. One is substantive structure, content structure, a structure of content knowledge and its meaning. And the other is a syntactic structure. This structure of mode of inquiry and thinking and representing the content knowledge. The inquiry learning is mainly relied on, not on the content structure, but on the syntactic structure. How to think, how to present, how to share the knowledge. Okay. Gregory Benson, the other side. Gregory Benson points out learning is composed of two aspects. Learning and knowledge. This means proto-learning or learning one, he named. And learning how to learn the knowledge. This Deutsch learning or learning two. The learning one is visible, while learning two, invisible. Which is more important of the two? Which is more important? Of course, learning two is. Because if learning without learning two is just accumulation of amount of junk information. Okay. No connection, no relationship, no meaning for life. Okay. But question, how we can teach learning two? This is a very, very difficult question. Okay. To teach learning one is easy. Okay. But how to learning two at classroom? How to teach? Okay. This is the question. In my approach of scholar learning community, SST, we call the learning two as authentic learning. Okay. Listening relationship, exploratory talk, and authenticity are three foundations of collaborative learning. I explained this slide in opening remark. Okay. Transforming classroom culture from competitive to collaborative by listening relationship. Pupils' biggest complaint about their school is that no one cares me in the world. I asked the many students and in the world, what is your complaint against your school? Everyone says, no one cares me. This is a strong message for school reform. No one cares me. All the students think about the schools. No one cares me, okay? SSC classroom should be a caring community. Listening relationship enable all students to become active participants, so-called protagonists, main actors of learning. The listening relationship facilitates both monitored imitation learning and scaffolding learning from within. Listening relationships create well-being and reciprocity among or in between learners. Listening relationships strengthen trust among peers, prepare quiet, comfortable, and intelligent atmosphere, and create an optimal environment for learning. Okay, these are the four ethical foundations for inquiry and collaboration, I think. Dignity, trust, reciprocity, and community. Okay. These are four ethical foundations. Okay. In pursuit of authentic city of learning, authentic learning is a polysemic concept. It includes real-world learning, second, exploratory and inquiry-based learning, third, learning that relates and integrates diverse knowledge in realistic tasks, fourth, learning that pursues higher order thinking, fifth, inquiry-based learning where the current answer is correct answer is not fixed. Six, learning that promotes reflective thinking and contemplation. Six, learning that seeks truth in collaboration with diverse others in the learning process and so on. These definitions I searched for the many academic papers about authentic learning. Many definitions. Why so many definitions? That's the reason why the authenticity basically have derived from the two different origins. Okay, the concept of authenticity have two different origins. One is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Okay, the inner voice of truth. This is the authenticity of Jean-Jacques Rousseau defined. Okay, but popularized authenticity is the genuine or fake. Okay, oh, this picture is genuine. Oh, this picture is fake. This violin is fake, okay? This is a genuine. This is a popularized conception. So different ideas of authenticity makes the concept of authentic learning very confused, make confusion about the authentic learning. So, SLC defined it as the learning that pursues the essence of subject matter in the real context. Okay, this is a simple definition. Okay, what is jumping task? Jumping task makes the learning authentic. Oh, but the question: what is a jumping task? Okay, a case of baton relay. I will explain. You can easily understand what is a jumping task. Sharing task is a textbook level, ordinary lesson. Practice the relay is so that the baton is handed over as smoothly and reliably as possible. Okay, this is a usual lesson. Okay, I introduce a jumping task. This situation, jumping task. In the baton relay, it is not the baton that is being passed, but the speed. Okay, practice the baton relay with the idea of passing the speed. Okay, the learning is drastically changed. I recommend you. because children with low academic ability cannot go to advanced learning because they do not understand the basics. Okay? And they cannot go to application because they do not understand. Okay? Children with low academic ability go from advanced jump task back to the basics and understand stand as they apply. Academic performance must be raised from the top level, not built up from the bottom. Okay? This is a key point to overcome the slow learners. Okay, this is my approach strategy. Jump learning is where inquiry-based collaborative learning really comes into its own and authentic learning is achieved. Designing jumping tasks is one of the most effective ways of teachers' professional development. Okay, this is one case of sharing task and jumping task. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Choose two of these numbers to make two digit numbers and subtract the smaller from the larger. If the answer is a two-digit number, use those two numbers to make two-digit numbers and subtract the smaller from the larger. Subtract in this way until the answer is a single digit. Try this method in several different ways. This is a lesson of the subtraction of carry forward. Okay, and let's try. Okay, 32 minus 23 is 9. Okay, 31 minus 30 equal 18. 81 minus 80 equals 63. 63 minus 36 equals 27. 72 minus 27 equals 47. 54 minus 45 equals 9. This is the final. Students whispered, oh, 9 again. Oh, 9 again. It's amazing. This size, 36 ways of subtraction. All the final answer is 9. Okay. So students are eager to try and practice and experiment the 9. If the final answer is not 9, oh, we mistake the try again. Okay. And this is very good sharing task because all the children are very involved in learning. And jumping task. Final number is 9. And what is the secret? Find 3 hidden rules in this calculations. Okay. Find the number is 9. All the answer 9 times number. Adjunct numbers add up to 9. Okay. Yeah. And this is another example. Sharing task. When rolling two balls of different masses, which rolls faster? So this answer is the same speed because both velocity and acceleration are independent of mass. Okay, the jumping task. One of the balls is filled with clay, and the other with beads. Beads, beads. And which above the same mass. And when these two are rolled as a slope, the one with the beads rolls slower. Amazing, okay? Why? Perform this experiment and draw an explanatory model to explain why the ball with the beads rolls slower. This is a phenomenon of low conservation of energy. Part of the kinetic energy is converted to sound energy. Okay, you can. some of the kinetic energy transformed to sound energy. Okay, so the ball with being slower. Okay, wait. Starting point of lesson study, learning from kids 70. This is a photo in the first grade in Vietnamese classroom. I visited the first grade. It's funny. This is a very, very wonderful SLC school. Okay. Uh, uh, a girl stopped the activity and think and think and think. Amazing for 10 minutes. Amazing. 7 plus 9 equals 16. She wrote it on a note and stopped. 10 minutes. Okay. We learned there are countless things to learn from children. Why did this first grade girl continue to think for 10 minutes without giving up? Why? Maybe listening relations of the classroom and encouraged by SLC teachers. Okay. This is a very, very wonderful classroom relation atmosphere. But thinking is a dialogue with herself. And thinking down cannot get her out of this stalemate. This girl has been learning with her neighbor girl in pairs. So why did she remain within the framework of her own thinking in this situation, which requires collaborative exploration? To begin with, what is this girl thinking about? Or she starts at node 7 plus 9 equals 16. That she learned in pairs. Of course, she's thinking hard about why 7 plus 9 equals 16. But is there a solution to this question? No, impossible. No, impossible. So, can we break through this barrier if we have a semi-concrete objects, Dienstblock, tile in Japanese, and that mediates between real numbers and mathematical abstractive numbers. Okay, but I recall an example from a Japanese first grade class a few months ago, where the same 7 plus 9 equals 16 was learned with these blocks in pairs. She write a hand photo. However, this pair had lined up 16 blocks and had not moved on from there, and had run into the same barrier at this curve. Why? What this example shows that understanding the decimal system is more difficult for children than we assume. Okay. Once again, the events remind me of the long history of mathematical relation to the decimal system. Okay. Many things that we can learn from the children. Well, it's now the time for me. So, conclusion. The innovative lesson study focuses not on evaluation of lesson, but on design, coordination, and reflection of learning. Teachers develop their professional mission, knowledge in practice, and professional autonomy, just in a professional learning community. Learning is least useful when it is private and hidden, while it's most powerful when it becomes a public, dialogue, logic, and communal. Lesson study is a strong vehicle to transform teaching from an invisible practice to a visible practice, and from an impossible profession to possible profession of teachers. Finally, learning teachers only are blessed with the happiness of their profession. Thank you.